I do believe in a three-color palette. To keep it simple, sometimes two. So we got the aluminum, fluorescent orange, and black throughout the whole vehicle. And the color palette was a very aggressive one. It was a paint that we had used in concept vehicles. It was a very delicate paint. It was difficult to paint and had zero durability. Fantastic finish and a lot of impact. I explained all these parameters to the client and do what you think is best. Do what you think. I said, I'm just going for glory. I said, let's have as much impact. Let's have as much impact out of this chair when the car rolls out. This is Camilo. I'm an automotive designer, and this is my 9th signature Ford GT. I think we're going to call this one Sonic Orange. That is a very, very unique, first time ever shape of a vehicle with that much drama, in the section, in the body section. Basically, really difficult to produce in any kind of volume. Not only produce in any kind of volume, but now produced in carbon fiber. That's why this car is worth so much money. It's the first one to do all this insaneness. And we're the first ones, as a private, owner, to do all this insaneness to the poor car. It's almost like doing a painting, because the thing is a work of art. When I do my art, they tell me what they'd like, and then I go and execute it, If we try to mold it and structure it, it'll just lose all of its spontaneous, natural impact. There is different stages where you're gonna mask out the livery, and the livery is basically all the graphics on the car. It'll look like a race vehicle by a team or something, because those are what my themes look like. They look like they are right off the track. Every color has a procedure, because the finish and in the contrast of gloss to satin is, will demand different procedures. It's so bright, that orange to the white. It's almost sometimes a shame to put the black line on it.
This is all stained satin. The orange is fine line tape. There's blue fine line tape underneath this one, but the same thing as the orange, basically.
This has all of its involvement up here, and then down here it's just one line, so it just waterfalls. The size of the 7 worked out very well. This is about as large as it could be, pushing the edges of the top corners, and then it so happened to fall right on the character line with just a slight modification. There's a lot of pressure because this canvas is very expensive, and you're putting down some paint on a vehicle of this caliber. You better get your shit straight. And when they take the mask off, those are your lines. There's no one else that you can get upset with. It's just yourself if you don't have your lines in order and straight and your radius is correct. This is going to be a black stripe that's interrupted before the windshield. It stops short. It does a lot of illegal, I don't know, as far as design, a stripe that doesn't continue past the roof onto the rear deck lid. It's an isolated stripe, but for some reason in the design on the computer, it worked well with the complexity of the car. So it's an isolated stripe. The number 7 is breaking the barrier, so the orange bleeds right into the 7 on both sides and the bottom, creating 2 triangles and 1 stripe to create the negative number 7. Once it's taped out, and through every stage it has to be scuffed, you know, so the surface is prepared for the next layer of coat. Because the black outlines the orange, so that's your final commitment. That's going to be the graphic. It's exciting to see that come off. I think we're going to call this one Sonic Orange. So
Sounds good.
the baby's named, and we'll baptize it with a shot of whiskey. And then at that point, it all goes back to the shop in its pieces and assembled for its final, you know, assembly. And after that, then there's some other graphics that go on, smaller details, and then signing it, or whether I sign it and that goes under the clear coat, and whether it's 2-color or 3-color. Sometimes it's monochromatic too, and monochromatic means 1, but when you use a color accent is a single, so you know that would make it very, very simplified, you know, with all the colors, you know, matching under the limitation of 2 selections. After the vehicle is done up like that, the guys test the car on a track and make sure that everything's functioning correctly, especially if there's engine modifications, whether it's a supercharger modification, exhaust modification. We can address the wheels as well. There is a little bit of input from the client on the wheels, but I'm very particular about wheels. You could really lose the project with the wheels. So I like to, you know, make sure that they match, they flow, and they don't mess up the show. I'm Camilo, I'm an automotive designer, and this is my 9th signature Ford GT. There's no wonder why the movie industry uses Utah as a background to some of those fantastic movies. I mean, it's so dramatic, it almost makes you feel like you're on another planet. The colors of the soil are impossible to imagine. It's a beautiful color. And this car right now that we're driving, the Livery, has this very bright orange and a contrasting white with a very strong contrast of satin black. I was excited to drive out here and see this vehicle and those surroundings.